You know that feeling when you're digitally drained, foggy, just off? Well, there's a brutally honest name for it: brain rot. And today, we're not just going to talk about what it is. We're going to build a rock solid plan to fight back and get your focus, well, back. So, does this sound familiar? You spend the whole day bouncing between emails, notifications, and an endless stream of content. You've been on all day, but you feel completely disconnected from your own goals. If you're not in your head right now, trust me, you are in exactly the right place. And look, this feeling is not just in your head. It's so real, it now has an official name: brain rot. In fact, the Oxford English Dictionary just named it their word of the year. That's huge. It tells you this isn't a personal problem. It's a massive shared experience we're all trying to figure out. And now, we actually have the language to talk about it. And it goes deeper than just feeling unfocused at work. The human cost here is real. It's quietly seeping into our social lives, making those genuine real-world connections feel just a little bit harder. Just like this student shared in a recent study. So what does brain rot actually feel like? Here's the simple breakdown. Cognitively, it's that constant mental fog. Maybe you're forgetting little things. Emotionally, it might be feeling numb or just snapping at people for no reason. And behaviorally, well, that's the nonstop scrolling and the total inability to stick with just one task. When you see it laid out like this, it's so much easier to spot in ourselves, isn't it? So how in the world did we get here? I want to be really clear about this. This is not a personal failure. It's not about a lack of willpower. We have to look at the hidden forces at play, the actual science of how our digital world is literally designed to hijack our attention. This right here, this gets to the absolute heart of it for explorers. And here's the secret almost no one talks about. You feel distracted because your brain has been rewired. All those pings and notifications have trained it to crave something new every few seconds, which makes deep, meaningful work feel almost impossible. It's a feature, not a bug of our modern world. Just let this sink in for a second. The average person with a smartphone gets around 96 notifications every single day. 96. That's 96 deliberate attempts to pull your attention away from whatever it is you're trying to do. And the cost for each one of those interruptions is, well, it's staggering. Research shows it can take up to 23 minutes to get back into a state of deep focus after just one little distraction. Now you do the math, 96 interruptions times 23 minutes, it's no wonder we feel like we get nothing done. Okay, so for all the planners and analytical thinkers watching, here's the framework of what's happening under the hood. First, you've got dopamine loops. Every buzz gives your brain a little reward-seeking hit, just like a slot machine. Then there's attentional residue. That means even after you put your phone down, part of your brain is still thinking about that last email. And finally, cognitive open loops. Those are all the unchecked alerts that create this nagging mental to-do list that just drains your energy. And if all that wasn't enough to convince you, get this. The cognitive strain of constantly switching tasks is so intense that studies suggest it can temporarily lower your effective IQ by a full 10 points. I mean, come on, that is a wild, mind-blowing fact that really puts the true cost of distraction into perspective. All right, we have really dug into the problem, but now for the good part, the empowering part, the solution. And it all starts with a short, strategic reset designed to recalibrate your brain. I know the word detox can sound a little intimidating, right? Like you're depriving yourself. So let's reframe this. This is not about punishment. It's about recalibration. Think of it as a safe and practical way to simply reset your relationship with your devices so that you are the one back in the driver's seat. And what's the actual payoff here? We're not talking about small, tiny changes. The benefits are fast and they are profound. We're talking sharper focus, a calmer mind, sleep that actually feels restorative, and having more genuine energy for the people and connections that truly matter. For settlers, and getting started is way simpler than you think. Seriously, anyone can do this. Here's a super doable 3-step plan. Step 1. For just one day, track your usage. Just see where you're at. No judgment. Step 2. Tame your notifications. Turn off everything that isn't from a real human you need to hear from. And 3. Create one tech-free zone. Maybe it's the dinner table, maybe it's your bedroom. That's it. That's how you start. Oh, and here's a little pro tip to make sure this actually sticks. For social smarts, don't try to do it alone. Grab a friend, a partner, a coworker, and do the reset together. That little bit of accountability and maybe some friendly competition makes a massive difference. And honestly, it just makes it way more fun. So that reset is fantastic for getting recalibrated. It's a game changer. But the real win, the thing that makes this last, is building a sustainable long-term strategy. That's where digital boundaries come in. Okay, here is a brilliant and super simple framework for one of the highest impact areas of your life, your sleep. It's called the 3-2-1 rule. It's so easy to remember. 3 hours before bed, no more screens. 2 hours before bed, no more food. And 1 hour before bed, no more work. Following this one simple rule can radically improve the quality of your sleep. And we can build on that. You can start creating your own rule book. Schedule do not disturb hours. Make a rule: no phone for the first 30 minutes of the day. When you need to work, physically put your phone out of arm's reach. And this one is crucial: have an analog replacement ready. A book, a journal, a walking path, something to do when that urge to scroll hits. When you zoom out, this whole thing really comes down to one fundamental shift in your mindset. It's about moving from being reactive, where algorithms and notifications control your day, to being proactive, where you decide when, how, and why you use your technology. You're back in command. And that really brings us to the final question I want to leave you with. Because when you reclaim your focus, you're not just getting rid of distractions, you're literally getting time back. So what is the one thing you could do, or create, or learn with an extra hour of focused, uninterrupted time every single day? Think about that, because that's what this is all about.
If this touched your heart, please subscribe, like, and share it with your family. Save this for more meaningful content ahead.